Welcome to TelehealthFX Talk. We are kicking off Season 3 by answering the most common questions we get from patients who are shopping around. If you are a woman looking into GLP-1 weight loss online, you have absolutely been targeted by ads for hers. The branding is sleek, the commercials are everywhere, and the introductory prices look amazing. But what happens when you actually sign up? Today, we are breaking down the hers weight loss model, the fine print they don't want you to read, and why pink branding does not equal better clinical care. If you want a medical program that doesn't treat you like a subscription box, visit TelehealthFX.com. That's TelehealthFX.com.
Let's start by looking at the business model of these massive venture capital-backed platforms. Hers is a marketing machine. They spend millions on celebrity endorsements and beautiful millennial pink subway ads. But fundamentally, they are an e-commerce subscription company that added a medical component, and that DNA dictates how they treat you as a patient. The biggest red flag we see patients falling for is the multi-month lock-in contract.
Exactly. You see an ad that says weight loss starting at $199 a month. You think, great, that fits my budget. You go through the intake, you get to checkout, and you realize the only way you get that $199 price is if you prepay for 6 months, or sometimes even 12 months up front. If you want a true month-to-month plan, the price skyrockets. And this isn't just a financial gimmick, it is a clinical risk.
It's a massive clinical risk. Let's say you prepay for 6 months of a medication. In week 2, you experience severe, unmanageable nausea, and you and your doctor decide you need to stop the medication. Or let's say you're in month 3 and you hit a plateau, and the medication just isn't working for your biology. With a lock-in contract, you are financially trapped. You've already paid for care you can't or shouldn't use. Medical treatment should never be structured like a gym membership that's impossible to cancel. This is where TelehealthFX is fundamentally different. They operate strictly month-to-month, no hidden multi-month lock-ins. If your clinical needs change, your financial obligation isn't weaponized against you.
The second major issue with the mass-market telehealth model is the kit approach to medicine. Because actual GLP-1 medications are expensive to source, these platforms heavily push what they call weight loss kits. These are often combinations of oral medications compounded into single pills, things like bupropion, naltrexone, topiramate, and metformin.
And we need to be very clear about what those drugs are. Bupropion is an antidepressant. Naltrexone is used for addiction management. Topiramate is an anti-seizure medication. Yes, they have off-label uses for weight management because they can suppress appetite or alter your brain's reward centers, but they have entirely different and often much harsher psychological side effect profiles compared to GLP-1s. We are talking about insomnia, brain fog, anxiety, and mood changes. They do not fix the root metabolic cause of insulin resistance the way Semaglutide or Tirzepatide does. They are a cheaper alternative designed to scale easily, presented in a cute package.
If you want a GLP-1, you should get a GLP-1. TelehealthFX doesn't funnel you into an oral psychiatric cocktail to save on overhead. They provide direct access to FDA-registered compounded Semaglutide and Tirzepatide. And if you need metabolic support, they offer targeted adjuncts like NAD+ for cellular repair, Ceremoline for muscle preservation, and berberine for blood sugar control. They treat you as a metabolic patient, not a demographic to be monetized.
And that brings us to the most important part of your GLP-1 journey, clinical support. When a company spends millions on ads, they bring in thousands of patients a day. That creates a massive support bottleneck. We hear from patients all the time who started with a big tech platform, experienced terrible sulfur burps or nausea in week 3, sent a message to the portal, and waited 4 days for a generic automated response.
When you are injecting a powerful metabolic hormone into your body, you need a pilot in the cockpit with you. TelehealthFX offers 24-hour provider review. If you have a question about your dose, if you need advice on side effects, you get a response from a real licensed clinician. You aren't just a number in a million patient database. You have real medical access.
Beautiful branding does not make the medication work better. Your clinical outcomes depend entirely on 3 things: the quality and sterility of the medication, your titration schedule, and your access to a provider when things get hard. TelehealthFX partners exclusively with FDA-registered compounding pharmacies with verified sterility testing. They offer both Semaglutide and Tirzepatide, meaning if you plateau on one, you can switch to the other within the same platform. And they ship via 2-day UPS cold chain packaging, so your medication doesn't sit degrading in a hot warehouse.
If you are ready to treat your weight loss like a medical intervention rather than a subscription box, it is time to make the switch. Skip the pink branding and the 6-month lock-in contracts. Visit TelehealthFX.com. That's TelehealthFX.com. Take the free qualification quiz. See their transparent pricing upfront. That's TelehealthFX.com.
And as always, everything on TelehealthFX Talk is for educational purposes only. This is not medical advice. Always consult a licensed healthcare provider before starting or stopping any prescription medication. Individual results vary. Stop paying for the celebrity commercials and start paying for clinical care. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on TelehealthFX Talk.